Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, Lauren, and Danny. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Danny.
And we're Cimorelli. Welcome back to
The Cimorelli podcast.
Give up.
I just
Hey,
want the regular thing back.
People want to hear the
Okay,
accent.
fine.
I'm telling you right now.
Cimorelli podcast. It's not it.
Guys, I like to point out how you guys are all wearing like dark/neutral colors, and Amy and I are wearing like
rip.
brightly colored hoodies, and it's just
Also, I
very
just want to
different.
say, almost all of us are wearing. Oh wait, Lauren's not wearing anymore.
Dang.
We were all wearing sweatshirts.
Because it was cold.
It was cold.
I'm saying we were.
All right. Anyway, hello, Patreon.
And welcome.
Hello,
Hey,
Patreon.
Patreon.
We love you
Hey,
guys.
patronage.
Welcome to our podcast, which you probably already know. This is where we share our juicy stories, discuss personal topics, and get vulnerable and real with you guys. Always keeping it entertaining, uplifting, and sharing advice that has changed our lives.
Wow, I love that.
Really good.
Yeah, love it so much.
Welcome
Okay.
to episode.
So you guys get every other episode only for you guys, and then you already know this if you're here, or maybe you just joined. Okay, you get all the YouTube episodes a week early.
Woo.
So you guys are just living life, just living
Living it
large.
up.
living large, living life.
You are lit.
chilling out, maxing, and
All
relaxing.
right,
all
so
cool.
you get the spicy advice Q&A.
It's
not
a Q&A.
Question.
It's a question.
Nice question. And as you know, these come from you guys, our patrons. So
Woo.
today's spicy advice question is from Dana Tucker on
Hey, Dana.
Patreon.
Hey, Dana.
She says, "How do you stop taking things so personally?"
Oh, this is a good one.
Okay,
I've
can I
got a lot
start?
of experience with
Sure.
this.
My easiest way that I do that, because I used to take things really personally, but then I kind of learned how to not do that, is to look at the other person's point of view. Instead of just thinking about how I feel about what they said, think about what their actual intentions were. Like, did they actually say this because they wanted to hurt my feelings?
Oh, yeah.
Or did they just say this because they thought it was like something helpful or like they weren't thinking? I
Wait,
try to
what?
think about it like that.
What
Yeah.
even is taking it personally? Doesn't that just mean getting offended by things that are not supposed to be offensive?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Is that
a
what
really
it
good
means?
point.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it
I
means.
have a thing that I think Christina would probably say too, and probably other people. The thing that I had to learn how to do. So, someone says something to you. Let's come up with an example.
Are we saying
like,
the true, untrue thing?
They said
yes.
you parked
So they
like
say
in-
like, do you want to say it?
Oh, I
Wait,
said
wait,
I
wait.
just said it in
but
my
I like
video that's
saying
going
it.
up too.
I like
I've said it in like 8 videos.
I think
It's
when people
classic.
take things personally, it's specifically something that's not an insult. It's not like you parked like an idiot. It's
Okay,
like,
let's do it
No, no,
together.
but that
Dan.
could be
let's
it
do it
too.
together.
That
Ready?
could be it too.
Okay, ready? When something happens, you ask yourself, "Is it?"
True or
it?
not true?
And then, if it's true, you
I
accept it.
forgot.
Deal with it.
Oh, yeah. You try to learn to
Embrace
live
it.
with it and
Figure
not
it
be
out.
offended.
Do I need to change it? Do I need to change it or do I need to accept it?
Yeah.
If it's not true, you
Ignore it.
But what if
Irrelevant.
it's something subjective that people don't like? What if it's like someone's like, "You're ugly"?
Then
I
you
went through this
decide for
one. Is it
yourself.
true.
But what if
Oh, wait,
someone's like,
I have
"Yeah, it's
the
true,
answer.
I'm ugly"?
She
I
has
talked
it.
about this
She
in the
has
video
it.
that I did on Monday that
Okay.
I didn't give you yet.
Yes.
Well, it's supposed to be, whatever. Okay, if it's something like that, then you say, okay, will believing this thing that's subjective harm me or help me?
Yes.
So like something like ugly.
Yeah.
If someone says you're ugly, you're like, what if
You're
I
dumb.
am ugly? You're like, wait, will believing I'm ugly for the rest of my life make my
Change
life better
anything.
or worse? Okay, worse.
Definitely.
That's what you do.
Or like another thing, I'm just thinking of like different things people could
Yes.
say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if someone said, "You did a really bad job at that,"
I have an idea.
or like,
Did
"Oh,
you?
or you're really bad at that."
No, but here's
Oh,
the other
I-
thing.
yeah.
Here's
I
the
wanna
other
be good
thing.
at it.
With the subjective thing, it could be like, this is really, what's the word, like specific? But like, for example, we wrote songs together our whole lives, and we had to learn how to not
yeah.
cry every time
Oh,
someone says that your
yeah.
idea sucks, or
No,
they think
but
it sucks.
people don't say it sucks. They just say, oh,
Even
I
if
don't
they
like
say that.
I don't wanna
Even if
use
they
that.
say that.
That's
So-
okay. Not that
Wait, I'm
good.
gonna say that's a really good example because when you're writing songs, people aren't saying dramatic
Yes.
criticisms. They're just saying that's when you take it personal because it's not personal.
like,
You're
yes.
like, whoa,
So-
it's okay. We're just gonna move on. But you're like, they hate it.
Yeah,
It wasn't
so
personal.
this could be like in your job, in a group project, in whatever. So you try something out, someone doesn't like it. So you say to yourself, okay, first thing, do I like this? Yes, I like this. Okay, cool. Give yourself a pat on the back. I think this is great. And then you say to yourself, okay, they may not like this. Me pointing at Amy as if she's my person. They may not like this. That doesn't mean that every thought in my mind is stupid and that this thing is
Exactly.
actually stupid. It's just their opinion.
What if it did need improvement? Then what? What if you're like,
Did
you
or
know,
did not?
my
Forgot it.
drawings are actually not that. Like, someone's like, your drawings suck, and then you look at them, you're like,
Yeah.
huh, they actually aren't that good.
Well, I think it's learning
Like,
to
oh, I wanna
value.
improve.
I think it's learning
Yeah.
to value your own opinion.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you have to say, "Oh, I'm not that good." Just
Yeah.
'cause you're
Oh,
drawings
that's
are
it.
not
That's
that
it.
good.
Your
Look, I'm just a beginner.
That's the thing I forgot.
whatever.
Your ideas are not a representation of you as a person.
Yeah.
So, like, if you write something that even a week down the road you look back and be like, man, that wasn't very good, actually. Like, in the moment I thought it was good, but I don't really think it is. Then that doesn't mean that you always come up with bad ideas and
Or
you
you're
are
a
a
bad
dumb
writer.
person or a
Yeah.
bad writer or whatever. You just came up with something that someone didn't like. That's it.
Oh, yeah, I've said
Yeah.
that. That's true for songwriting.
It's like-
Everyone can write a bad song, but not everyone can write a good song. So if you write a bad song, it doesn't prove anything. Just keep
Yeah.
going till you write a good song, then you prove something.
I think it kind of comes down to labeling yourself as like one thing based on one situation instead of seeing yourself as like the full person that you are with strengths and weaknesses and flaws
Exactly.
and good things and bad things. Like you're not just one thing just because of one situation.
And
Yeah.
it teaches you resilience.
Yeah, and also there's another way of taking things personally, which I have done many times. I think Kath may have done this too, and maybe Danny. I'm just thinking. I'm not like calling you out, but
Just
I
tell
think
us.
it's when someone says, "Oh, I don't like red lipstick on me," and then you think that they're saying you shouldn't wear it either.
Oh, yes, I was going to talk
I
about
do
this,
that
too.
all the time because I like to live my life based on a structure of rules made by other people. So here's an instance.
no.
Christina, her whole life, said I could never cut my hair short. My hair has to be long forever. And so I thought my hair had to be long forever. And that's part of the reason why I never cut off my hair.
It's so
So how'd you
interesting.
get past that?
I literally, one day I had my hair short and I was like, well, actually, this would look good. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe just because Christina doesn't want to cut her hair short ever doesn't mean that I have to follow her rule. I can cut my hair short. I could do whatever because I can give myself permission. I don't have to
same
take
thing. What if this? Hey, what if? Okay, here's another question. What if someone's like, oh, I don't like red lipstick on me, and then you're wearing red lipstick, and then you are like, do they mean it's bad on me? And then you ask them, are you saying it's bad on me? And they're like, oh no, I wasn't saying that, but if you want my honest opinion, I don't really think it is that flattering on you. Then what?
Then you would say,
Do I value
do
their
I value their opinion
Yes.
and do I agree with it?
So
Exactly.
like, I
Maybe
trust-
I like it. And if you value their opinion and you do agree with it and you're like, actually, maybe this isn't the right shade, you could say, oh, do you have any
what do you
ideas
think
for a better
is
shade?
a good shade? Yeah, like so I'd be like, Lauren Diddy said it to me. I'd be like, let me see what I think, because I'd be like, maybe I'll take that seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that there's a process of discernment that everyone has to develop, because I think for me, I'm such a people pleaser and I definitely take people's opinions really seriously and it's just natural. But as I got older, I had to learn, and very, very hard to learn, but I had to learn to like take in people's opinions and use my own judgment and discernment and realize like no one in your life, no matter how smart or educated they are on a topic, whatever, should be God to you. Like, God is God. You can take people's opinions and you can respect them and accept them, but you need to ask yourself, if you're putting so much weight on someone's opinion, especially if it's somebody that maybe is actually insulting you or like even bullying you, like, I don't understand why you would give so much power to that person. You have to ask yourself, these different people, like, what? And if you don't know, maybe ask them, talk to them, clarify, what was your intention with this remark? Maybe maybe you're giving a narrative that wasn't even there. Like, maybe someone's saying, I don't like red lipstick on me. They were just talking about themselves. They weren't, maybe they were subtly jabbing at you. Who knows? But if you just assume it in your head, you don't know. But but that's the thing. You have the freedom to decide if you want to give, like Lauren and Danny, I respect their fashion advice a lot. And I would, if they said a belt looks bad at that outfit, I'd
what I
probably
said.
take their advice. But if it was a certain instance where it was like, they both were like, that doesn't look good, but I really
you
wanted
really
to
liked
wear
it.
it.
You would
Maybe,
still
You're
wear
like,
it.
I thought it looked good.
yeah, maybe it wasn't quite fashionable for that outfit, but is it really like, if you really want to do something and you choose to do what someone else said, you're like de-selfing yourself. Like, you're like, just, I don't know. I think there's certain instances where people's opinions are helpful and you should take them into account. But at the end of the day, you have to learn to discern that for yourself. And that's a big part of becoming an adult and being your own person. No matter how smart, if it's your parent, someone that you like, you really do look up to, and they have so much power and authority over you. But you have to learn to like think it through yourself and be logical and make
that.
your own mistakes too.
Yeah,
Really
and
good
think
Live
about
with your choices.
Think about it from an outside perspective. What would you do if someone was going around taking your opinions as gospel?
God.
You'd
Exactly.
be like, you have opinions all the time, every day, all day. And they don't necessarily mean all this, they don't necessarily all have all this weight that you give others' opinions.
So you have to have a way of discerning it. Like, okay, this person knows a lot about this, or they're really good at this, so I'm going to listen to that and then take it into account and then weigh it. Or if it's like they know nothing about it, then you kind of just throw it out.
Yeah, Kat, that was a
All
good
right.
summary.
Great.
There you go. Who's that from again?
That's from Dana.
Dana.
Hey, Dana.
There you go,
Thanks,
Dana.
Dana. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Good discussion.
We're going to move on to our topic of conversation.
I'm really excited for this one.
For the day.
We all
and
hate
this
talking.
is debunking
Myths.
about us.
We should do like
Yay.
a Mythbusters intro.
Wait, can I just say I was obsessed with Mythbusters?
Me too.
Mythbusters when I
As
was
a
a kid.
kid.
I
We
loved
watched
it.
Yeah. All right, so welcome. Who knows the Mythbusters theme? Because I don't.
I don't.
I don't
I
remember.
just know
Welcome
it goes like
to
Mythbusters. It has like the
with
logo like,
Cimorelli.
explodes
Are we
or
allowed to
whatever.
say Mythbusters?
I don't know.
Welcome to Myth Dusters. Welcome to Myth Dusters with Cimorelli.
Myth debunkers.
Okay, we got some myths. We asked you guys to tell us your myths on Twitter.
So generally, these are things that people say a lot about us
That they
that
think
they think
are
are
true.
totally true, which
Okay.
we've never necessarily said are true. or not.
So one of them, should we get to the work thing first? One of them that we hear a lot is like, you guys don't really have to work. Who said to someone?
just
Oh
now
my
it was like
gosh.
You didn't have to
Lisa.
practice? You just
Oh
sing.
yeah, I
Oh,
I
who said
thought
that?
you didn't have to practice. I thought you just turn on the camera and sing.
That was
Like-
someone in real life, though. That wasn't like
Someone
that.
that I know.
Guys,
Yeah.
this is a myth about us that like people our age and like
Oh
our
my
people
gosh.
that don't
What
know
do
us
you
very
guys
well
do? People are like our friends. Sometimes they'll literally just genuinely curiously like, "What do you do all day?" And sometimes they'll be like, "What do you do all day?" Like kind of suspiciously, like, "Do
think
you even work?"
in their mind, I think they think that we just know the songs already, and then we just record a video, and it takes like 1 hour. It's like, whoa,
And
you
that's
just-
it.
You work for 1 hour a week.
Well,
That is
And it's funny, they
crazy.
have an idea that we just sing all day and that's our whole job. They're like, I'm like, oh, I'm working. Some people are like, oh, so you're going to the studio? Or like, oh, you're writing a song? And I'm like,
Or I
you
say,
think that's all it
or I
is?
say, oh yeah, I'm going to work, or oh my job, and they're like, oh, where do you work? What's
Wait,
What do you
I was
do?
gonna say that.
I'm like,
People say
yes,
that to me
you know
all
I'm
the
in a
time.
band.
So the myths we're encompassing here are how much we work, that we don't work, we don't practice, and we just sing all day. So what's the truth?
And also that what they said yesterday, which is that like Lisa does all the
Editing and work.
And then
editing
we all
and
just sit
harmonies
on our
and whatever.
butts and eat.
we just sing our solos. or whatever.
we sit on the couch and we're like, okay. So what do we
Yeah.
really do?
Ooh, well, which one first?
All of that's one thing. The
Yeah,
working.
that's the whole thing.
What do we do? What does our
All right.
work look
A
like?
good way to answer that is a lot of people ask me like, what's a day in the life? Or
Well,
like, what's a week in
I
the
think
life?
I can summarize it pretty quickly. On the daily, we generally work pretty much all day, like the normal, like 10 to 6, whatever work day. Like it's not scheduled, but we generally work all day. And we all have our own projects that we head up, which we're not necessarily going to go into all the details of those, but we all have little things that make the band work and make the band run.
You could say our
Things that you
projects you're in
see.
charge of. Just give a
Just
few.
briefly, yeah.
All right, just go
Yeah.
through.
So
just
Ready?
go through.
Go through their side.
I do video editing with Danny. We both do video editing.
switch off.
I write a bunch of the harmonies, not all of them, for the songs.
But
You're in charge of making sure the harmonies get finished.
Done, yeah.
So she doesn't do all of them, but she has to be like, hey,
Yeah.
someone come in
Some
and do
songs
this.
I'll do most of them. Other songs people are like, oh, I'm really inspired for this, blah blah. So I do harmonies, editing,
Vocal mixing or whatever.
vocal, kind of like mixing, like getting it ready to go off to mastering. Yeah, I guess it's kind of mixing.
Kinda mixing.
Submitting the songs to Spotify, making sure they get up.
Wait, don't go through all of them.
I'm
Just
trying to
do
remember
some
the other
overview.
ones. I guess that's the main ones.
And then like posting a lot of stuff.
Oh, and like posting to YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
All right, what are you in charge of?
Oh, and then getting band Instagram posts together.
I do a lot of like little random things that just come up and then go away. So it's not like a bunch of what's the word? Oh,
Consistent?
ongoing projects like other people. But generally
Graphic
I
design?
do. Yeah, generally I do all of the like a lot of the graphic design / like
Website?
art stuff.
Artwork
so,
for
like,
Spotify?
Yeah, artworks, headers and like social media things, stuff like that. I edit half the videos, like Lisa said. I do
Promos?
do?
You edit like promos
You
together?
just do a
you
lot of
produce.
merch.
Oh, I produce tracks for some of the covers. I work on. I do the merch with Lauren.
Merch design.
Merch design. There's
Yeah.
a lot.
And then she has a lot of
And
odds
then
and ends.
sometimes I do harmonies.
She like is
Jack of all
gathering
trades.
If we ever do like a video, I'll
props.
do a lot of like props or clothing stuff like
I do
that.
a lot of props too.
decor.
Okay, yes.
Okay,
we'll
we're
get to
going
you.
through.
Generally, my thing is just like visual art stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Very
true.
creative.
Okay, you?
Design.
Oh, and
Oh,
you
and
love
technology.
mashups.
Oh yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
most of our like medleys, I'm the one who like puts them
That's
together
what I'd say.
because that's one of my talents.
I do a lot of the tracks. Well, not a lot actually. I do like
We kind of
half maybe. I don't know. Half of like the tracks for our covers and our originals now actually too.
Yeah.
And then I do a lot of the mixing, more like detailed, like
Especially instrumental mixing.
oh yeah.
I don't do much of that unless it's just the piano.
And then I forgot everything that I do. I
you do a lot of administrative stuff.
I
You
do
head up the
the
merch?
merch. Like
Oh, yeah.
I will come up with like the concept a lot of times
And
for it. Well, like what kind of like campaign to do.
You do like the broad.
yeah,
thing.
and then I work on that with Danny.
You do a lot of like strategy stuff. So
Yeah.
like marketing and branding kind of things. Like, ooh, we should talk about it like this way, or we should do these kinds of colors, or we should do this sort of
Yeah, we
thing.
work on campaigns together, which I'll talk about when I do mine.
Oh, and then I run our merch Instagram. I literally forgot.
There's
everything.
a lot of
Promo, calendar.
Yeah,
There's a
I
lot of
do
random
a lot
things
of,
that
like,
come up.
strategic stuff, I guess.
And you were doing a lot of scheduling stuff before we
Yeah.
hired
Yes,
someone.
I was doing a lot of like
You were like the
typing
schedule
and
person.
planning and scheduling and blah blah blah. But now I don't do as much of that anymore.
Cool.
Okay, so I oversee everything. So I'm just looking at like boom, 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 and looking at everything, and I come up with like a lot of the strategy for like
You
everything
do like
basically.
the direction of the
Like
entire
this is the way we
thing?
should go.
You're really
this way.
You're really big.
How are we
picture.
gonna get from A to B? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and then I look at who has what strengths and who should do what. I'm constantly evaluating like who is best at what and how things
You're
are
like
doing.
team building and like
Team
Yeah.
leader.
Then I'm like, okay, we have these tasks that need to be done. It's you, and then I'm doing this. So I give each of us a task within every single thing we do. I kind of lay out who's doing what, and then we all
Delegation.
go to
You're
work
kind of like a facilitator.
on
She's
our
like
jobs.
the puzzle put together. Like we're all kind of pieces. And
Pieces.
you kind of like
Put
put
it together.
everything together all the time.
And then I have say on or input on everything. There's almost
Yeah.
nothing where I'm like, I don't really care. Every single thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we need to change that. So it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I see like, okay, Lisa's really good at doing this thing. Lisa, can you go do this thing? I'm like, I have a vision of how it should be. She can carry it out. Or like, Danny, I have a vision of this idea for this thing. Danny can totally carry it out. Give me her input, blah, blah. So I'll start with the vision and then they give their input and then it like becomes this really cool thing. And then we just
Yeah.
use everyone's talent.
Also-
and then I do a lot of the marketing strategy.
Yes.
I'm really into that. Marketing and promotion. Because I'm studying it all
yeah,
the
she
ripping
researches-
time.
researches everything. Like
I'm
always.
studying like business stuff like
All the
24/7.
time.
I'm always reading. I'm
Watching
always
videos.
watching videos. I'm always listening to podcasts. So I'm doing like business research like 24/7. I'm the most on the business side of everyone, but I'm also very heavily on the creative side. So it's very weird
Yeah.
because I'm really strong in creative and business. And then the other thing, money. I am the financial
Chief Financial Officer.
Yes. But I'm like the person who's like, okay, this is the financial decision we should make
Yes.
based on looking at all the numbers. So I take a look at every single thing every single month and I'm like, got my magnifying glass, I look at everything and I'm like, okay, these are the money decisions we should make.
She makes sure that we don't go broke.
Yes.
basically.
And that's my favorite. But actually, that and the musical part, literally those two are my favorite things. So Laura and I will come up with like launches together, like, oh, let's strategize how we should do this. And then we bring everyone else in and then everyone brings in their input.
Their own
And when we
little
get
thing.
everyone's unique input on everything, it just makes the best project.
really
So it's like
cool.
we'll start like the foundation of it and then we bring everyone in. It's just so awesome.
a really cool
So
structure.
yeah, it's kind of I'm in charge of a lot of other different like projects, whatever, but like that's kind of the overview of what I do. And trying to get everyone like set where they're like gonna do their best work.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to constantly figure out like, oh, how can they do more and better at what their
Yeah.
gifts are.
Usually, like Christina, well, she always leads the daily meetings that we have, but she usually, like every day, has something new to be like, okay, guys, we're gonna improve on this thing, or okay, guys, I had this new idea or this thing that I learned about, or okay, guys, I
like,
saw
oh, I
this
heard
thing
this
happen.
song.
Let's
We
discuss
gotta do
this
something
thing.
like that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
she's always like leading us and
I
coming
have
up
a
with some
lot of
new
ideas.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
and did you talk about the seminars that you do sometimes with us?
we do development week,
We
which
do
is cool,
development.
which I
so
love.
love it.
Christina will research like a topic like leadership or like what was another one?
The
we
last
did?
one was like mental
mental
Mindset.
health,
processes
yeah,
and
mindset.
Like
And she'll
structure.
find all of
Organization.
these videos like from like Oprah and like all these random
Like
like
speakers
leaders,
and
and she'll
whatever.
present videos, and we'll all watch them together for like
The
a
whole
lot of
day.
hours,
And
for
ask
and
us
then we'll have
questions
discussion
to get
questions,
everyone in a better mindset.
and we'll like sometimes we'll even do like meditations and
Yeah.
stuff. She's very
very
about like
fun.
lifting our morale.
She's a
and our
great
mindset.
leader.
So what do you do?
Okay, so I was thinking of a million different things bouncing around my head, but I decided to be succinct. And I think I can sum it up in 3 words, which would be
Oh.
number 1, writer, number 2, storyteller, and number 3, people. So those are kind of like
Yes.
my arenas in the band.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of
Relationships.
writing.
You keep
Yeah.
relationships
So,
up.
well, I'll have to go to that one. But, okay, so I do a lot of writing in the band, and that just comes across in so many different ways, like interviews, literally telling our story. Well, this kind of
Bios.
ties into the next one,
Making
but
me about us.
I do all the writing, so all the interviews. I tell our
bios.
story in as many ways as possible.
So we could tell her stuff, and then she'll write it out in a
Yes.
way. So we'll like give her the information, and then she's like, right. Also, Lisa does
Lisa does a lot
a
of
fair amount of writing
stuff,
too.
Mine's
Yeah.
Do you think you two do the most?
But
writing?
yours is more
Yeah,
like
but mine's, like,
social
captions
media
and, like, social
captions.
media.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
but Lisa does
Yeah.
very different writing, but
Yeah.
it's interesting. Different types of writing.
So I tell our story, and that's a huge aspect of it. Like, if you go on our Instagram and click the About Us, I kind of like
Oh,
design
yeah.
that whole
The
thing. and lay it
highlight.
out. Amy helped me with some of the format of it. But, and then also things like our CD booklets, I'll write like the little, like, if it's
Oh,
more of
yeah.
a poetic, artistic thing. So if it's like telling our story or writing something that's a little more artistic, I do a lot of writing for the band, or like bios in
And
general.
then-
And Patreon.
And then, well, that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
next one. So the next one is people. And a big part of that is our Patreon. So it's not just like, it's a big part of it is our fans. So connecting with you guys. I organize like a lot of our Skypes. And also like Amy and I work together, do the giveaways. Just like random fan interaction or like connecting with you guys, getting to know you guys better, strengthening our bond with you.
As
She
an example-
facilitates us going on the Patreon. So she'll be like, hey, go
Yeah.
and reply to comments.
She's like
watch this
in
video.
charge of Patreon. As an example of that, like I had a vision for the new Patreon launch. I was like, here's my vision, and then here's what I think. Then we all say what we think, and then she's the one who's gonna be like carrying it all out.
Yeah,
and
facilitating it.
And then she's like, oh, I know what we should do for their relationships, like how we can strengthen
Yeah.
that with people. If you're getting an idea of how like we all work together on this.
Yeah, and on
then
the
what
other
else?
side of it, of the people thing, it's like people we work with. So like if like for Christmas, I like kind of organized all the gifts that we gave out to
people we work
people
with.
that we work with, or like when we went on like radio tours in the past, I wrote like literally like hundreds of cards and gave them
like,
to all the
notes and
radio
stuff.
people.
Yeah.
So like kind of like building and strengthening the relationships with the people that we work with in addition to the fans.
So for instance, I might be like, oh my gosh, we should do this to help with the relationship, but I'm not
Yes.
going to be doing it. She knows how to do it.
Kyle's got that winning
She's like,
smile.
I know. I'm like, oh, if I was like, oh, you need to go like talk to that person like and give us like a good impression. She will do it
Yeah.
better than me in some situations. I'm just like, I have a great idea, but I'm not carrying that out. I'm thinking about too many things. I can't do that right now.
Yeah. Also, one thing that just came to mind that kind of we share is like spokespeople for the band.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
whenever we do
yeah.
like interviews and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
Christine and I kind of talk.
Yeah.
We generally take the lead.
Well, it's like a live thing. We like to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of more of just the storytelling aspect.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
kind
really
of
good.
I think that kind of sums
That was
it
a good
up.
summary.
You.
Amy, ooh, guys, I feel like Amy is
She's
so
underrated.
important, and people don't really acknowledge it, or people wouldn't think of that. I don't think.
She's the
Like,
glue.
I don't know. You no, I'm saying no. I'm
No.
saying I'm saying you see Amy and you think, oh, she's so happy-go-lucky. Oh, she's so fun. She's so happy. She laughs all the time. She probably just makes art all day. But Amy does all these like really like detailed and like day-to-day like scheduled,
Yeah,
like,
let me lay it
hard
out.
things that I
Amy
cannot do.
likes the detail. Okay, Amy likes and can do the things that I
hate. I hate
to
them too.
do, that kill me. So having Amy allows
so
me
important.
to not die, first of all, and she likes doing the thing. So it's a great
Yeah.
combo. Because if Amy had to do what I do, she would want to
would
kill
die.
someone. If I do what she does, I would want to kill someone. Luckily,
Yes.
we don't. So I'm like, oh, ideas. And Amy's down here like, carry out day to day, this.
Yeah.
I
think Amy's the
Amy's
most
like
day-to-day out of
the
everyone.
glue, basically. She's like in there in every
Yeah.
crack, filling in
Yes,
every
that's what
crack.
she fills in the
So
holes.
she does.
Yeah.
She has a lot of things that need like schedules that I would absolutely hate. I'll create a schedule, but I do not want to have to do it. So it's like, oh, we need to have this post on this day, this on this day. Amy's gonna make sure all of them get done. She's like the detailed person who's just gonna go in there and do it. We're like, oh, we need these props. Okay, Amy and Danny work together, visual, and then kind of like a doer.
Amy
doer.
also helps me with a lot of things. Like if I'm making like the set for our filming room, then Amy will like help me put stuff up or help me go shopping, or like she'll be like my wingman for a lot of things.
What else for your?
Amy, what
project?
else?
Basically, I
kinda
post basically everything that we post that's
On our
not a
Instagram
YouTube
and
video.
Facebook.
No,
You're in
that's
charge of
not a
running?
YouTube video. Everything else I post.
You're behind.
And I
Interesting.
do a lot of gathering. So like I'll get props for things. Like I go to the store a lot. I mail all the giveaways that Kath gets
Oh yeah.
for me, and I also I've helped Lauren with a lot of things like spreadsheets and stuff. Spreadsheets are one of my favorite things in the world. Oh my gosh, I love a good spreadsheet. And then also I this is something that I want to do more of is I want to get better at writing because I'm a very good writer and I'm very good with words and speaking.
Just
but
the grammar gets
typing and grammar and like actually writing them down is hard for my brain for some reason. But I'm really good with words and speaking and how things should be said.
Yeah.
So that's something that I want to work
So
on. but
hopefully that makes sense. I don't know how to. Amy's is the hardest to label.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think something people don't realize is that it's a company.
That's what
that
I was
we're
gonna say.
running.
It's a business.
It's
It's
not
not just YouTube videos every Saturday.
music,
We
right?
don't have anyone
'Cause this-
running the company. for
Yeah,
us.
it's like this is our
Yeah,
job,
like,
and
we don't have a
we're-
manager or a record label.
Yeah, we're independent, so it's like everything that a manager or a record label would do, which is like a
We-
company. That's us.
Dude.
Yeah, because like a lot
That's
of
us.
like the typical artist and like band and influencer person, they have like a giant team,
We have
and they
like-
have
we are
a
the
label,
team.
they have
Yeah.
a manager.
Well, we have like two other
Also,
people.
we have our parents do help out. Like our dad will like read contracts 'cause he's really good with law, and then like our mom,
mom
does a lot of like
emails
the
and
like
tour
touring,
and stuff like that.
organizing stuff. Like our mom kind of helps
And
with
we
a lot
just
of those
hired
things.
our first employee.
Yes.
Ooh,
exciting.
she's sitting over there.
Yeah.
So we are the team. We're not just the artist, and the team does all the work.
But yeah, something that's really cool that just came to mind is just like how different everyone is, and I like how we all come together.
All right. So the rest of the myths, we're gonna do a lightning round, and we're just gonna go like bam, 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 bam. So here we go. Ready? Oh, let's just go down. Okay, Lisa. We don't let each other sing.
False. We all split the song up as a group, and everyone kind of decides together who's going to sing what.
Danny, admiring each other's voices video.
Someone made a video that was called Cimorelli Admiring Each Other's Voices, and it was basically a compilation of every time we smile in a video. It's basically us smiling, and they were saying that every time we smile when someone else sings, we're admiring their voice, which could be true. I don't
looks
really
really
know.
nice.
It
I
does,
think
but
that's more true for the podcast when someone's talking and we
Yeah,
smile.
yeah.
That's where it really
But I
applies.
think generally most of the time in the videos we are just thinking about what we're singing and how to like come across on camera and all that
Hate
stuff.
to break it to you.
Yeah, but we're not
That's so
usually
sad.
admiring each other's
Yeah,
voices.
because it's like we already heard the voice when we were practicing a million
it's not
times.
like,
so it's
oh,
not really
man.
like, oh, it's like,
Just
yeah,
heard
I
that.
know
I
that.
think the one time I admire someone's voice is when I go, ooh, ooh. Like I do those
You
things
can
like
tell.
that.
I've
No,
done
no.
it every once in a while because I
It's
maybe
not the
wasn't paying
smile.
attention until at one point, and I was like, "Oh, whoa, that was a good note." But that's like
Lauren?
not that common.
We have our notifications on, and we see everything.
No,
notification
if
ever.
we had our notifications on for like Twitter and
our
Instagram, all
phones
that,
would
it would be like
die.
ding, 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 ding all day. So I personally only have notifications for like people that I follow.
Me
I
too.
only have notifications on for text messages.
Okay,
Oh,
me.
okay.
We've never heard a bad word.
Well, we
Never.
debunked that in the one episode when I said I used to say bad words behind the couch.
Also, guys, we changed the words in all of our covers, so how would we change the word
If we
we
had
Never
never
didn't
heard
heard
know what it was?
Yeah,
That's
there's,
funny.
There is such a thing as you just you
Don't
know
wanna
about
say those
something, but you
things.
maybe don't want to be a part of it.
They're like,
Yeah.
since you don't say it, you
must be
not
scared of it.
know. I'm like, listen, people, I am almost 30 years old. I don't know how I would have escaped hearing all those words at this point. Kat,
Juicy.
we don't talk to people who aren't Christians / all of our friends are super religious.
That is so false. I mean, it's okay.
You guys
Some
have a lot
of my
Catholic
best friends are very, very Catholic,
never did.
and I feel like very comfortable talking with them because they are really
Same
like
interests,
they have the
same
same
things, same
values, and it's
beliefs.
super easy to connect. But that being said, some of my closest friends are like some are atheist. I have a friend who's Hindu. Friends of like all different backgrounds, and you guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of our friends are not that into their faith or
No,
Christian,
Presbyterian.
but we all get along. It's all good. So that's completely false.
Amy, we used to not be allowed to dye our hair.
Ooh.
That is 115,000% true.
Wow.
Our mother
Very
did
true.
not let us dye our hair. She never gave Danny permission, but Danny just started
Wait,
dyeing
wait,
her hair.
Who was the
Anyway.
first person that I
Danny.
Danny.
It was
No,
Danny.
no. I think it was when we did the Believe It music
Oh,
video.
oh.
But that wasn't
That was the
actually
first time
dyeing,
ever.
was
Yes,
it?
it was.
No. When you did
No.
a play, you dyed your hair like red or something.
That didn't
that was
count. That was
temporary.
for a play.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, the
In
first time was I
Believe
got
It.
an ombre and then we dyed it black.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like it.
And they had me dye my hair dark
Really
for a
dark.
second.
It
I was like,
good.
why?
Yeah, it looked
Very
good.
So
good.
now
looked
you look
pretty.
more like
So for videos, then
No,
we did
that was
it,
hers
and
not.
that's why our mom let us because she loves business and she loves the music industry. She's like, oh yeah, it's for
Well,
video.
I remember the first step towards it was her being like in the video. She's like, "Well, I mean, it is like almost your natural color. It's
Yeah.
only like one shade off."
But-
little did she
But
know.
when I was
coming.
13, I asked her to dye my hair blue, or asked her if I could dye my hair blue, and she said no.
She's like, heck
And then
no.
I was like, okay, can I dye my hair red? And she's like, she didn't give me a clear answer, so I took it as a yes. And I
oh
did.
my gosh, who like took you to get the hair
But
dyed?
I think she
My-
ended up
this
thinking
lady
it
I
was
knew did it
pretty.
for me.
I think she liked
I
it.
would never.
Yeah.
I
That's
love the red.
funny.
Okay, Kath needs to stand up to Danny who won't let her talk.
We already said this in the last
Yeah.
episode, but briefly just say it. if you want to, or I
Wait,
can say it.
it
No, I
needs to
think
stand
you-
up.
It's when I shush
Yeah,
you.
you need to stand
It's
up.
like
and
okay.
assert
The
yourself.
truth is that people are like, oh, they bully Kath. They won't let her talk. The truth is, I can talk if I want to.
Yep.
It's okay.
You guys haven't seen Kath mad. You don't even know.
Oh,
You don't
yeah.
even know.
Catherine does not get walked on.
She's not like,
Yeah.
oh,
Okay.
she doesn't do that.
And as I said in the last episode, if I'm ever shushing Catherine, it's just because she talks really loud and my ears hurt. That's it. It's not because I'm saying, don't talk, you
me
little
a
sensitive.
sensitive
Don't
ear.
talk, Cinderella.
We're going to move on to the Sister Spotlight. In the Sister Spotlight, we have Lauren's Take Your Real with Christina's Happy Thoughts with Kath, Amy's Current Crisis Exposing Lisa, and Danny's Love Hate List.
These are our spotlights.
Which one is it?
Who is the Sister Spotlight for this week? It is. I
don't know.
It's me.
Catherine.
Oh, I thought it was me.
Just kidding. Ding! Amy! Danny!
Gina!
That was a big fat fail.
It's Danny. It's Amy.
It's me. Hey guys.
Oh my
Bless
gosh.
my heart.
Hold on, I gotta pull up the list. One
Wait,
second.
before Jenny
Christina
says
just
this,
blessed her own heart.
I just
wanna
want to say it
that.
really fast. I was with Dee when she made her first love-hate list, and the top of both lists was men.
Oh yeah. So
Love, hate.
You just showcased
yeah,
her.
it's okay. It's okay. As you guys know, I make a lot of lists. Last season on the podcast, I went over the list of notes to self, which is basically an ongoing list of things that I think are like smart that you should write down and remember. So I already went
Such
through
as don't eat ice cream in a dark
car.
I always remember
stuff like that.
Oh.
So
Classic.
I have another list which has been ongoing for a long time. It's more of a mental list, but I started writing it down, and it's just a list of things that I love and things that I hate. I just decided to make it when I was like 14, and now I just have it.
And I'd like to preface that and say, Danny is a very strongly opinionated. Like, if like a food is bad, or like in her opinion, then she won't just be like, oh, I don't like that. She'll be like, I hate that, or like that's disgusting.
I'm
Like,
like,
she's
that is
very
the
strong.
worst thing ever. So
She literally gets offended at my
Let's
parties
hear
if
it.
I'm like serving too many things that she doesn't like,
like, what?
at dinner parties.
So today we're going to talk about foods I love and foods I hate. And I'm not going to go over all of them because if I went over all the foods I hate,
my
we would be here
gosh.
all day.
She hates every food.
I don't like a lot of things, but we're going to talk about foods I hate and one food that I love because I couldn't think of that many.
Oh my gosh!
I couldn't think of that many that I like passionately love. It's just like, okay, sure, I
So
like
this one is food
vegetables.
specific?
This is food
Okay.
specific.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to say what I love first just because it makes me happy. A food that I adore that is kind of out of the norm is corn and rice.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh!
yeah.
Now,
Oh,
That's
she
just
eats.
weird.
That's two foods.
Exactly. I eat them together.
She eats them
I eat them at the
Oh.
same time. Now, I've eaten this like every day for a very long time, and everyone says it's really weird, and I don't think it's that weird because corn tastes
not weird at
amazing,
all.
and rice is so
It's
good.
just a bowl of rice and corn.
Just a
That's
bowl of
all.
rice and
What do you
corn.
put on it? 'Cause
Sometimes
it smells so good.
Garlic,
That's
salt,
weird.
and pepper.
Oh.
Sometimes I throw in a little chicken. Sometimes I throw in a little beef. But if I don't have meat, I just eat them
Chicken,
plain.
I can
Always
see
throw
that.
in
Yeah, that sounds
protein.
good.
No, but I don't. So
It's
that
bad for you if you don't.
corn, since I was a young child, I would put corn in a bowl. I'd put butter and salt on it. I'd
Oh,
pop it in the
so
microwave, and I'd eat it straight. I'd
I
eat
think
a whole
I started
can of corn.
that trend, honestly,
All right,
of
Heather.
eating corn.
I think
Danny's
you
spotlight.
actually did show me
Because I
that,
ate
but,
butter and corn all the
but
time.
I love corn. I love it. 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 Probably one of my favorite foods. Okay.
It's disturbing.
So that's the one thing that I love on this list. And now we're gonna go through some things that I don't like at all.
All right, everyone, buckle up. It's got a long-
Because people think I'm weird for not liking these things. So the first thing, which everyone's gonna agree with, is mayonnaise.
Oh,
Okay?
I hate that.
All my sisters except Lisa have a very intense hatred for it. Lisa will eat it sometimes because she's a
Disgusting.
weirdo. But I
I'd like
hate
to say
mayonnaise.
our camera guys are laughing.
Good. I hope they are.
They
okay?
probably don't agree because most people
Hey,
don't.
this is Danny's spotlight
I'm just
and
saying,
not
I've
yours.
been won over to a pesto aioli. I like that.
Yeah, pretty good, honestly.
Do you hear me puking? That is me puking. Listen to me and listen to me good. Mayonnaise is the devil. It is white and it is gross and it smells weird and it tastes weird.
talk about
And when it appears in things, you just know it's there.
ruins them.
And you order a burger and you say no mayonnaise and they put mayonnaise on it
Oh, it's the
anyway.
worst thing.
And you want to cry.
You send it back, you say I'm allergic.
Always when I go to Sonic and I get a burger, when I used to not be gluten free, then I would get it. I'd say, hey, no mayonnaise. And then if they bring me it, I would say, hey, I'm actually allergic to mayonnaise. Can you like take it off? And then I would get a new one. Yeah, that's my one allergy. Disturbing. Okay, so next thing I hate, cantaloupe.
Why?
I hate
Cantaloupe.
It's so good.
It's good.
Listen to these.
I don't think
That's
so.
my fave.
Cantaloupe,
No.
but let me tell you something weird. I hate cantaloupe and I love honeydew.
Me too. Me too.
But
I
they're
love
essentially
honeydew.
the
No,
same
So
thing.
good. Guys, I want to hear the
Yeah,
list.
guys, they look the same. Like they're just different
Gross.
colors. They have the same texture. They're both very watery, but I don't like cantaloupe. If you bring me a fruit salad and there's cantaloupe in it, I will throw all of the cantaloupe out of it. I won't eat it
But
because
then
it's
it
gross.
infects the other fruit. I hate that.
Oh, me
it
too.
all tastes like
me
it.
too.
Ugh.
It's gross. Okay,
I hate cantaloupe.
next thing, same vein, watermelon. Okay? I don't like watermelon. Let me just say,
How?
let me just say,
What is wrong
I will
with you?
eat it if it's there and I have to and I'm desperate. But I'm not gonna be like, man, I just really want a fruit salad with watermelon in
That's
it.
the best part.
It just
I'm
tastes like water,
shocked.
and I don't like water either. So it's like, how am I gonna eat
It's the
that?
most neutral taste.
Exactly. All right.
It's like,
next
I don't
thing.
like the taste of air.
Next thing, almond butter. Almond butter.
I
I ate it once.
Agreed.
I ate it once in like a shake or something. It's and
so good.
It was torture. Every drop of it that went down my esophagus was a nightmare because I hated it. It's like, oh, it's almond butter. It tastes like peanut butter. It's so similar. No,
It's not.
it's different. It has a different texture. It has a different taste. It's not the same. Don't be fooled. It's disgusting. Okay.
Whatever.
Now, last thing on this list before I stop yelling, as I'm actually physically like my body's warming up. I'm really heated right
gosh.
now. Because I get really passionate.
You
about
do
food.
get
I'm
so
sweating.
passionate.
So I'm sorry for everyone next to me. I smell really bad. So the last thing I love or hate, which women around the country shame me for, is I don't like chocolate. Listen, I
get
like
that.
some
understand.
chocolate flavored things. I hate chocolate ice cream, but like I like some chocolate flavored things,
Such as.
but like a Hershey's bar of chocolate.
Wait, is
Wait,
so
wait,
good.
No,
Wait, what about chocolate vanilla swirl?
that's good. That's good.
Okay.
But just like straight chocolate ice cream, or like
I agree. I
straight
don't like chocolate ice cream.
or just like
a bar of milk
chocolate.
kisses?
Oh no, I eat those.
Oh my! In the single Valentine's Day video, you're pouring them on your head.
Yeah, and I don't like them. Listen,
That's why there's so many left.
That's why
and I
there's in
ate
the
all of them.
wrapper.
listen.
I hate them.
I eat them when I'm desperate. That should be another list. Foods I'll eat only when I'm desperate. So I'll eat those when I'm desperate if I really, really want sugar and there's a free bowl of Hershey's Kisses laying around for some
Wait,
reason.
so that's
I
why
will eat it.
when I gave you a bag of chocolates I found them in the trash, and I was like,
I know her.
I was like, oh, is Danny trying to eat healthy or something?
I took them out of the trash and ate them.
Yeah.
You need help.
So
Hey, they were wrapped, just so you know.
that's just a perfect example. It's like, let me tell you why I don't like it. Not that it tastes bad, because I like the taste, I guess, but it's just you put a piece of chocolate, just plain chocolate in your mouth, and it's like this weird
It melts in your
texture.
mouth.
Nah, it's weird,
What
and it
the
like
heck?
it's so thick and like it kind of like tingles in like a weird
Wait,
way.
Dee, I can
Are you
actually agree
kidding?
with you on this.
right,
I don't.
I don't
like
want your
flavored
opinion.
All right,
chocolate.
that's
She doesn't
enough.
want it.
Danny's
Well,
hate
love
list
hate list
is over.
It's over.
Oh,
now that women across the world, maybe some men have
Yeah.
been offended.
I say this, and they're like,
your
"You don't like chocolate?" I'm like, "No."
thank you guys so much. You're
Thank
gonna see our
you.
next episode a week before everyone on YouTube because you guys are awesome. So we'll see you in the next episode. You'll see us. Actually, we won't see you. You'll see us. You'll see us in the next
You'll read us.
episode.
well, what
enjoy
if we
your
looked
day.
into the camera lens and we saw everyone?
Catherine.
I feel like we should call it. I feel like we should call it the next issue because we have our readers.
Our ears.
All
Our
right,
readers.
All right, readers. We'll see you.
In the next
You'll see us
issue.
in the next issue. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.